Record.
We're fucking recording. Oh my god.
We're back.
Episode 2.
This is the episode 2 of He's Not Drunk.
You said you didn't even get the fucking name of our podcast right. He's drunk again? Jesus Christ. This is already falling apart. Wow. Episode 2. We don't even know the fucking name. Great. Fucking guy who came up with it doesn't even fucking know the name.
On the bright side, the audio is better this time.
Yeah, that right side, the audio is better.
So,
welcome to the first ever second episode of He's Drunk Again. Wait, He's drunk again?
He's drunk again?
Again? He's drunk again? What did you say? He's not drunk?
He's not drunk.
He's not drunk.
It's very simple. It doesn't mean anything. It's a really boring podcast. It just is a plain white person talking. That's all it is.
It's just two sober gentlemen talking.
He's not drunk.
Yeah.
So, this is the second episode, as Lucas said. I am Chase Pierce.
I am Lucas Leffelman.
And as we mentioned, if you did happen to be one of the 10 listeners so far to the first episode, then you may have noticed the audio was a little off. We were still I could not figure out how to set up a Blue Yeti to a Windows computer. And that's what
the audio wasn't bad. The audio was shit. We did a fucking horrible job.
Oh yeah,
something went horribly wrong.
It sounded like probably 7-year-olds recorded themselves on their phone and then posted it on YouTube. So, I mean,
Faux show.
It shows our professionalism, obviously. But
yeah, we don't know fucking anything.
I literally can't even. Oh, I figured it out. I couldn't even pull YouTube, on my screen, and it was because I was clicking the wrong button on my mouse. So
perfect.
Yeah. So we are running a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, kind of obviously we are.
And we have the audio fix this time, and we're good to go.
Christ.
And
thank God.
Today, on the second episode of He's Drunk Again, we're going to be talking about a few cool things that we did. I think that kind of one of them led to this podcast and the other one was after we kind of decided, but it sounds like it was a pretty intense night for you.
Yeah, it was awesome. I guess we should probably start with the first thing that we did, because the first thing something we did together, we were both present for.
Yeah. And
the second thing is something only I was at.
Yep, I was thinking the exact same thing. We'd start with Emo Nite.
Uh-huh.
And Emo Nite, so I'd like to start with why we went, basically, because it was just a random-ish thing for us, you know? We didn't really know what it was at all.
Super random. You told me you were coming to Edwardsville, and I was like, oh, I'll look for something in the city to do. And it just so happened the day you were coming, there was something called Emo Nite. So I looked it up on YouTube, and it seemed, I didn't even there was no clear answer what it was. Is it a concert? Is it a big dance party? And it's both, I guess. It's kind of I still really don't know what to call it when I tell people what it was. Because people are just like, Emo Nite, what the fuck? What is Emo Nite? What is that? So that sounds super fucking dumb. It's oh.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was. I said I was coming up there for the weekend, and you looked up stuff, and you're like, you want to go to Emo Nite? And I thought in my head, I'm like, all right, let's see how much this thing is. And you're like, $10, and I was like, fuck yeah, I want to go to Emo Nite. Whatever. In my mind, I literally had no clue what it was. My thought process was that it was probably a bunch of emo cover bands playing that night, and that's what most people guess when I tell them. And I was like, all right, well, this should be interesting. Worst case scenario, I see a bunch of freaky 16-year-olds really getting wild, and that sounds like fun. I want to see that. And then I looked up it a little bit and stuff, and I got no results. I was in the same boat. I saw one video that you showed me, actually, of Post Malone singing at it, and then other was just people screaming, and I was like, I have no clue what I'm getting myself into. This could be the just boring, super boring event, or it could be a lot of fun. I really don't know because I don't have a clue. And still, yeah, explaining it to people, I'm not gonna lie, it's awkward because it's such like a vague thing. So like it's weird to explain to people, and when I do, they're kind of like, that doesn't sound like a thing. That sounds like you just like went to a weird DJ. And I was like, I know exactly the way it sounds, but it was honestly awesome. So like for me, Emo Night was like even bigger because like the night before Emo Night, I had a terrible anxiety attack, and I haven't had one of those in like 4 years. I've only had like 2 real ones ever. Like I get anxious and stuff, but like 2 real anxiety attacks ever. And like anybody that's had one knows it, just like, or at least mine, because they might be different for people. I don't have a fucking clue. But for mine, it's just this paranoia and feeling like lost, and like everyone's hardcore like is either coming after you or like in their head they're thinking something terrible about you, and I don't know why. It's just like I'm convinced that something's happening. And so then like I ended up like in a bar, just like because I was with some friends, but I was just doing circles in the bar, and then like I couldn't be around people, so then I like go outside and just kind of like stand in a corner and get some air and stuff. And it was freaky. And then I ended up just like really breaking down that night about like the essential point of it was that I felt like lost, completely lost. Like I knew roughly who I was, like who I had been before I came here to Carbondale, and I felt like that was just gone. That dude was gone. Like I wasn't doing what I wanted, I wasn't studying what I wanted, I didn't have the job I wanted, I wasn't actually doing what I wasn't acting like the person I wanted to be. And I was like, this is freaky, because like I was just going in motion for the past like roughly 9 months doing a bunch of stuff I didn't really care to do. And I'm like freaked out because I'm like, who am I? I'm telling everyone like, and when I was having that like breakdown, I was like telling everyone like, I'm gonna hurt you, you should probably just like stay away, not like physically but like emotionally, I'm probably gonna hurt you guys and stuff, so like it's better off you just stay away. Like I'm pretty sure like soon I'm just gonna have to like drive away and get away from everyone to like figure my shit out, you know? And so it was a really freaky night, I'm not gonna lie. And then the next day I woke up, I felt calm and stuff, and I went to your place. We hung out for a little bit. Then we went to St. Louis, and we went to City Museum, which it was a good appetizer to our meal at Emo Night, to be honest, you know? Mm-hmm. Because like City Museum was just a cool place where you're an adult, but you get to go there and just feel like a kid again. Just feel free to like do whatever the fuck you want. Like
it's a good escape.
Yeah, it really is.
Any time I talk about the City Museum, I've only been there twice, but it's like it was the perfect escape. It's like both times I went, it was kind of like both times. Like the first time I went with my roommate, and it was kind of like a night where we were both like, we just need to get the fuck out of our apartment, and we went, and it was a perfect like thing to go do. So like we just got to like forget about that we're adults for like a couple hours. We kind of just like forget about any problems we have in the world. We just get to have a good time. It's just like fun. You just like run around, go crazy. You just have a great time. So
that's just it. You feel like running up a wall, you get to go run up a wall. If you like swinging on a rope, you get to go swing on a rope. Like you ever at a playground randomly in the middle of the night, and you see like kids playing, and you're like, man, I wish I could go swing on that swing, but I don't want to be that guy. And then, yeah, it happens a lot. I'll see little kids at a playground swinging, and I'm like, man, I wish I could just be inside them.
Jeez, yikes.
As a soul, as a human being, obviously.
Sure. I think whenever like I see like back home, whenever like I'm driving around and like I see like kids riding bikes, I was like, man, I just think like, god damn, I wish I was fucking like 9 years old again, and I could just ride around my hometown on my bikes with my friends like we used to. Before we grew up, we realized like what being an adult was really like. God, fucking, I wish I could go back to just being like that dumb.
Yeah, I know. I'm totally joking about the kids, but I think about that sometimes. I'm like, man, when I was a kid, like you didn't worry about anything. You know, your biggest worry was like, for me, it was like, you know, is Triple H gonna beat The Rock this week? Like, it was a big deal for me. But besides that, nothing else really mattered. And everyone told you like, hey, like, you don't want to grow up, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, stupid fucking old people. I do want to grow up. And then you grew up and you're like, man, I wish I was a kid. At least for, like, one day a week. If you could be a kid one day a week, would you take that?
That would be pretty awesome.
How many days would you go to?
How many are you?
Like, so would you go full 7 days of being a kid? Would you, like, you're a kid the rest of your life, but you don't get to go back? This is whatever deal you take here. You don't get to go back.
How old am I?
Let's say 10.
So I'm an immortal 10-year-old, or like, am I just living the rest of my life as a 10-year-old?
Like a mixture between Benjamin Button and a normal human being. So yeah, you're an immortal.
No,
okay.
Absolutely not. That sounds like the worst fucking thing. It would be cool for like the first 20 minutes.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh my god, I'm 10. No one takes me seriously. I'm a fucking 10-year-old. I literally can't drive. My parents don't let me stay home by myself because they don't trust me.
Imagine having a mind of your age and growing, and then being stuck in a 10-year-old's body.
At least it'd be like. At least I could probably kill myself pretty easily as a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you could snap your own neck.
With my knowledge, like, it'd be so much easier to kill myself because I'm so small. Like, I'd just run off the roof and jump, and I'd probably die. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like
right.
It might be harder because you got to think, like, how many 10-year-olds get, like, seriously fucked up physically? Not many.
That's true.
They're pretty like resilient little creatures.
Maybe they're smarter. You know, like.
They're definitely not smarter. They're so much fucking dumber.
I don't know. I think all 10-year-olds are probably smarter than me at this point. I think they're the geniuses and I'm the idiot.
They're probably smarter than us, but...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. We're talking about, like, normal humans. Yeah, no, they're smart. They're definitely dumber than normal human beings.
The normal humans. We're... At least I'm a fucking idiot. Like,
anyways, the point I was getting at was...
Okay, yeah. Back to the point.
The point I was getting at was, all right, 2 days a week. Or, no, sorry, 6 days a week. You get to be a kid. No. But only a kid. You don't get to go back, whatever deal you take. All right, 5.
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to do it even 1 day a week.
Not even 1 day a week. You would not
Probably
go to...
not, because, like, being an adult sort of sucks, but, like, I have way more freedom than I ever did as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But that's now. That's because I'm, like, 21, and, like, I live in an apartment but I have, like, my own place.
Yeah.
So, like, I kind of have ultimate freedom, and I have, like, I have a job where I make decent money, so I kind of do whatever the fuck I want with my money without anyone being like, hey man, like, don't spend that money that way. But, like,
if a 10-year-old spent their money like you, your parents would spank you every night.
Oh, they would never let me leave the house. Oh my god, if a 10-year-old spent money the way I did, like, he'd be in debt with loan sharks, and assassins would be sent to his house, and they'd kill his whole family, and then they'd force him to work for them, and then he'd eventually become a hitman. Then he'd be sent back to kill some other kid's family because he didn't pay the money. It's a weird, like, full circle thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so City Museum was awesome.
Great appetizer to Emo Nite.
Yeah, it was a great appetizer to Emo Nite. It was the whole freeing experience of it, that actually doing, like, what you want in a sense, you know? Feel like running up a wall, run up a wall. That was what I was getting at. And then, like, we get down to the Grove is what I found out it's called, that whole street or whatever. I didn't know that before.
Yeah, that neighborhood in St. Louis.
Yeah, I figured it out a couple weeks later or something when I went back, and they had, like, Grove Fest or something. And it was cool there, to be honest. That was also kind of, like, part of the experience, because, like, we're walking past, I come from a small town, so, like, we're walking past a way more urbanized, way more progressive, like, area, and it was cool to see, you know, people doing what they want, saying what they want, just being free, you know.
Yeah, that part of St. Louis is, like, super liberal. Like, there's a bunch of gay bars there, and there's, like, they have a naked bike ride every, like, year, which I discovered when I was in that part of the city on accident the day of the naked bike ride, and I looked to my left, and there's, like, a naked dude on a bike, and I'm like, I just saw his dick. And then I was like, hey man, we were in a restaurant, I'm like, hey man, like, what's going on outside? Like, am I losing my mind, or did I see a bunch of naked people ride by me on a bike? He's like, oh yeah, it's a naked bike ride. Is that a regular thing in this part? He's like, oh yeah, it's like every year everyone just gets on a bike and gets naked.
I was imagining you just looking around and start taking off your clothes. Is this what we do now? Is this how?
If I had a bicycle, I would have. It was weird. It was not like the first thing I thought was like, wow, I would never fucking do that. That would not. I would not want to ride my bike naked with a bunch of other people. Let alone ride a bike naked. That can't be safe.
Yeah, no. There's a lot that could go wrong there.
A lot. That could
Anyway, yeah. So we get to Ready Room, and in line, I'm trying to get a feel for how Emo Nite's gonna go basically, and the line's pretty small, and there's a few people that I'm like, they're about like 16, whatever. I see that, and then the other ones, it's not as wild as I was expecting, I guess. I was expecting a lot more nose and ear and everything piercing, a lot more black around eyes, stuff like that. But we get inside, it's pretty empty and stuff, and I thought the weird part was that we get inside and they're playing like rap music, on the DJ is.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. That was definitely strange.
And it ended up being the same DJ as for Emo Nite, which I was like, all right, he's got a variety taste, I guess, but it's still a weird opener to Emo Nite.
Definitely was.
Oh, and of course, I can't forget that the man with a parrot on his arm that decided to go to the urinal. I did like that part of it.
Oh, shit. I totally forgot about that dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that was cool. A man just with a parrot on his arm walked into the urinal, came out. It was pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. I don't wish I had a parrot. I hate birds, but... And then... it starts, and we end up being in the front row. And what I mean by it starts is, like, 4 people get on the stage around a laptop, essentially. And... they're all basically hype men, is the best way to say it, I think. And they just start playing emo music. They have a little talking, just yelling, like, let's get pumped up, stuff like that, And then they start playing emo music, and that in itself is, like, a vague term, emo music, And it has a bad connotation to it. When people hear emo music, they're like, oh, that's gross. I remember being 16. But...
What
yeah.
did they even... I'm trying to think, what song did they even start with? It came out swinging.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
They started with a Fall Out Boy song, and it's either, like... It was either Dance Dance... I think it was Dance Dance.
Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah.
Sugar We're Going Down.
See, I'm thinking it wasn't Sugar We're Going Down, because I do remember that song coming on, but I think it was a few later.
Yeah. I think it was Dance Dance. I feel like it wasn't, though. I thought they played Dance Dance, like, later in the night.
Maybe.
I don't remember. It's a blur. The night's
yeah,
a blur.
no, it is. It was a couple weeks ago or a month ago or something. But yeah, and we end up in the front row, and they start singing and stuff. And we actually knew the songs. I was going in expecting like, I'm gonna know like 2 of these songs, 3 of these songs. That's probably gonna be it. And I'll just stand in the back and like headbang or something, And then they tell us that it's basically an event where we all just sing along. It's a giant sing along. It sounds weird. It sounds like a kids TV show, but like imagine it more in a concert setting where like they're playing songs that hopefully and like I've never been a dancer myself. I'm not good at dancing. It doesn't work for anybody involved, I'm going to be honest. But like I will sing hard, like at like concerts and parties and stuff like that. Like I love doing that. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty perfect for me. Like I don't have to dance, I can just sing. And they played the first song, we knew it, and then within like I want to say 4 songs, they were starting to be like, all right, people come on stage and stuff. And I was like, no way, not a chance. I was like, I'm not getting in front of all these people knowing like probably 1 out of every 3 songs tops. And then the connection that both, especially you had a strong connection with the some of the hype men. And
I don't know if I'd say I had a strong. I was getting after it.
I saw the love in your 2 eyes. The one with the glasses. And
the bigger dude.
Yeah. No, you two had something.
Oh, we had something. Mm-hmm. He's my boy. We're still Facebook friends. But no, I mean, I went in thinking I would know every song, which I didn't. I knew like a fraction of them. Like I probably knew like maybe half, maybe. Because like they started off and they play a Fall Out Boy. I'm like, oh, this is my playlist then. Like, but then the second song they played, I was like, what the fuck is this? And then like the third or fourth, I was like, I don't know any of these songs. Like my first thought, like midway, like within the first 20 minutes, I'm like, this is gonna fucking suck. because I'm like, I'm not gonna know any of these songs. It's gonna be super shitty. But then like as the night went on, like every like they would play like 4 songs I knew, then they play like 2 I didn't, and then they play like 4 I knew, 2 I didn't. But
yeah, and that's the thing. So then we ended up like, because of your and his love together, we ended up going on the stage.
Is that how we ended up on stage? He convinced me basically.
I don't really know.
Because he tried.
Yeah, I know.
Because I think they tried with us a few times. So we were right in front. We were singing.
Yeah.
And they kept trying, and I was singing like, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it." Like hell no. But then other people started getting on stage.
Yep.
And I was kind of like, there's enough people on stage where we won't look weird. Because I didn't want to awkwardly stand there and sing. And I didn't also want to, like, weirdly dance and have people be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's just awkward. Because, like, it was just such a weird, but, like, then we kind of said, fuck it. Like, why not?
Exactly. And, like, we ended up on stage. We'd sing, like, a song that we knew and then go down for any songs we don't know type thing. And
it was super fucking weird.
Yeah, it was.
We got trapped up there for a few songs I didn't know. I literally just like stood there and looked around. I'm like, yeah, I know this song.
See, I always did just like the mouth thing. Whenever I didn't know a song, I just moved it up and down, and I figured no one's gonna know if everyone's singing loud enough. And then like every once in a while, I'd slip up and I just like look around to make sure nobody saw me. Yeah. But yeah. So, like, we ended up on there for, like, songs we knew, then songs we don't. And then, like, after, like, I don't know, a few times of getting up and down, we ended up just staying on there for, like, a while, you know, for, like, every song. And it was honestly really cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, even just not even thinking about the music, per se, like, it was cool to be, like, on the stage, going hard, not giving a shit, and seeing this room full of other people who are going hard and not giving a shit, you know? That's what was, like, inspiring, I guess, to me, and, like, brings me back to, like, the night before where I was like, who the fuck am I? Like, I completely lost myself type thing, you know? Where it was like, but then I'm in a room filled with, I don't know, probably, like, 100 people just who are just seem free. They're listening to music that they loved as a kid that are now like, you're not supposed to listen to that music in a sense, like you're weirder if you listen to that music, and they're all singing hard with one another, listening to that music, jumping up and down. And it was really cool to see. I was like, why would I do anything other than like what I want to, period, like for any decision in my life, roughly, you know? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, these people are like enjoying their life in my mind, and like I'm more jealous of them than I would be any successful person per se. So I'm like, this is really inspiring, to be honest, just to have this environment. And like being on stage made it better because you're right in front of like all of them seeing it and stuff. Like, it was weird. It was a weird connection I had with a few people in the crowd. I saw some weird stares, but it was really cool all in all, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. I didn't have quite the same experience as you did, I don't think. And probably because I kind of had a similar experience the first time I went to a Wonder Years show. Because I've been to multiple concerts for, like, bands I love. So, like, I've kind of had that experience before. And that, like, Emo Nite was awesome. But, like, it doesn't compare to going to a concert for a band you love and seeing that band play in front of you. Especially when, like, you're less than, like, 15 feet away from, like, the lead singer. And he's, like, you could literally, like, jump over the stage and touch him. Like, that's such an unreal experience. But, yeah. It was... Emo Nite was sick, though. Like, I had a great time. I had a blast. It was, like, it was kind of great because... It was, I guess in a way it was a little bit better than a concert because, like, at a concert, I can't get on stage. Unless it's depending on the venue. It kind of depends on a few things, but, like, it's very hard to get on stage at a concert without security, like, ripping you apart first.
Yeah.
And, like, but, like, there it was so cool because you could get on stage and then, like, it felt like you were kind of, like...
part of the show?
Exactly, yeah. You felt like you were in a really weird... it's kind of hard to explain. It's honestly, like, super hard to talk about because, like, anytime I try to explain to someone, they're like, that sounds so weird. I'm like, you just gotta, like, go and experience it because it's such a unique thing that happened. It's super, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to
explain. No, it totally is. Verbalize and stuff. Put into words. Like, it's because like it's weird to say like, well, it's DJs that play like pop punk rock type music, and you just all sing together and you get on stage and you sing with the DJs and stuff. I don't know, it doesn't sound as cool, but like when you're in that environment and everyone's going hard, like it's this communal thing, tribalism, whatever, that's really cool, to be honest. Like it was a cool experience. Yeah, it's definitely something that I would recommend to anyone, that because most people have listened to that music at some point in their life. Most people seem to have that phase, but a lot of people got out of it, I guess. And it's not that I didn't get out of it or anything. It's just that, like, I don't really care to. Like, I enjoy that music, you know? I enjoy that and other music, but, like, that's part of it. I enjoyed part of that music, so it's like, why wouldn't I listen to that, too, still?
Yeah, like, that's always the joke with, like, people who love, like, pop punk and, like, emo. And, like, all those, like, emo goth kids that, like, were scene kids back in, like, 2010. It's like, oh, it's just like a phase. It's just like a phase. I was always joking, oh, it's just a phase, mom. But like, it never felt like a phase for me. It always like, I never left. Like I just grew up. You know what I mean? Like I just got old. Like I'm the same kid I was when I was listening to this like 10 years ago. But now, then I just grew up and I still listen to the same shit I listened to when I was 12. I still listen to those same bands and I still love those bands and everything. So. Like Emo Nite like reminded me of that. Like after Emo Nite, I went back and listened to a lot of bands I didn't listen to anymore. Like I just hadn't listened to in a long time. So they played a few fucking bangers. Like they played a few like that were, to me, are like some of the greatest songs ever. Like, they played "The Downfall of Us All" by Day to Remember. Yeah, and everyone singing along that song. I was like, I fucking forgot how hard this band goes. I forgot how fucking good they are. There's a few other songs like that. There was also a few weird music choices. Yeah, like they played Nirvana.
That was the one that got me.
Spirit. That was strange. And they played the one I still like. It doesn't make sense to me because I always thought of it as like a rock song. What's that song by Lit? My Own Worst Enemy. Is that the name of that song?
Yeah.
That was I never thought of that as emo music.
No, me neither. See, they played that, and I thought they played a couple Blink-182 songs too. And yeah, that's what I thought. And see, I've always thought of all those like they're in a separate genre from this in my mind. Like theirs is more of like, I don't know. It's a weird like it's the old school alternative in my mind, like the 2000s alternative. Cause like
that's what you would consider Blink.
Yeah, I would. See, what would you consider? I'm curious.
I would. Well, I mean, Blink's pop punk. Blink is just that's like what they are. They're pop punk. They're kind of the godfathers of pop punk. To me,
really,
they were. I mean, they started off as a punk band. Like I think Blink's punk, but I mean, if you listen to like Blink's self-titled album, that's like an emo album. That album's pretty fucking emo, and like Blink kind of inspired bands like Fall Out Boy and like stuff like that. So like they're also kind of like weirdly emo. Blink's a weird one.
I was gonna say, well, like music genres in general are weird to label, I'm not gonna lie, because like heavy metal from like the 80s, you know, is literally like damn near light alternative today. Like I'm like from the 60s, Rolling Stones was hard, you know what I mean? And and like today, the people that listen to Rolling Stones are the people that listen to like soft music, like vibes, like indie music and stuff like that. Like it's old, and so like it's a weird thing over time, you know. And so I agree. No, that's fair. They probably were like more of a pop punk band. It's just like, I guess at this point they seem so softer, much more softer to me, because like now the newer punk that I've like, I'll just like go to like Punk's Not Dead and stuff, you know, on like Spotify, and it's like a whole thing they make, and it'll go down, and it's the punk stuff especially is like really hard, you know, like it's
who are the punk bands?
You want me to pull some up right now?
Yeah, I want to hear some.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'll pull some of them. Yeah, absolutely. I'll pull some up right now. But yeah, and some of them just sound like kind of like generic wannabe Black Flags in my mind, I'm not gonna lie. And that's why I can't listen to a lot of like that on Spotify. Like I think if I find the right album or not albums, artists and stuff, I'd be happy because it happens with all of them, all the genres. There's a lot of times they start sounding the same if you listen to just a general playlist of them all.
So like,
but
real quick, you cut out for like the past 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't hear any of that.
that's fair. I was gonna say because you were gone on my end as well.
Okay, yeah.
But
don't worry, I kept talking. I filled the space.
Did you? Okay, good. So did I.
I single-handedly saved the show.
Well, everyone's gonna off themselves for that little time period.
You're welcome. Good. I only want the true fans.
Even State Champs is more pop punk. That's on this list, just so you know. But like, sometimes they can go hard too. Like,
they're pretty good. I'm not the biggest State Champs fan.
Mm-hmm.
I just nothing against them. They're just not for me. I like
for sure.
They have that album, the acoustic things, that I fucking love. Like I like that album a lot.
Yeah.
And I know they just came. I listened to their newest album for some reason. I guess I don't know why I did. I was driving and it like popped up and I'm like, oh, I'll listen to this. And I listened to like half of it. I'm like, that was a pretty good album. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
They never did it for me. I don't know.
That's right. I haven't listened to a lot of. I don't even remember the name of the band I was just talking about. I'm not gonna lie to you.
State Champs.
Yep, State Champs. I haven't listened to a lot of State Champs. I see other people going to concerts, and I just have not very much.
Yeah.
But
what are some of these other bands?
All right, I'm just gonna name them off because I haven't listened to. I don't remember. I don't have these memorized at all. So I'm just gonna name off the bands and see what you think. All right, ready? Justin Courtney Pierre.
Oh shit! Yeah,
you know him?
Ocean City soundtrack. Yeah, he's huge. Right. He's like a fucking he's awesome.
All right, I believe you. Better Good. You know him?
No.
Hactic with an exclamation point.
No.
Brawny.
No.
Feelbacks.
No.
Why Everyone Left.
That sounds like super depressing, but no.
MXPX.
I totally know MXPX. I've
really?
Totally heard of them. Yeah.
Elbow Room.
No, that's a good name. I like that name.
Yeah, I like it too. I'll go 3 more. Bearings.
No.
Gold Root.
No.
And Final Call.
These all sound like real punk, like hardcore punk bands.
That's what I was gonna say.
Whenever I get slightly irritated because I love pop punk, but I also love punk music.
Yeah.
So I kind of get annoyed when a band like. If a band like State Champs was like, "Oh, we're punk," I'd be like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
you're definitely not punk." Like, like, I just be a little irritated. I'd be like, "Yeah, we're punk." Like, yeah, not really. Nothing against State Champs. They're great. They're amazing pop punk. They're at least like 21st century pop punk. They're amazing at it. Mm-hmm. They're like one of the best to do it. So
absolutely,
I would never call them punk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. One last thing about Emo Nite that I wanted to bring up, besides the fact that it was cool, inspiring, had a lot of fun there, like I definitely recommend, was the sad as fuck motto that I thought was pretty cool. I had never seen that before in my life. But, like, in there they had t-shirts, balloons, everything that was said, like, sad as fuck, you know? I thought that was, like, a really cool motto to do, because, like, it seems wrong, but it's also right in a way. And, like, you mentioned to me that, like, some people were, like, on the internet and stuff, we're kind of like, oh, like, that's not, you shouldn't be, like, proud, I guess, of being sad. It shouldn't be cool to be sad.
You shouldn't.
In a way.
The comment I read about Emo Nite was that they are glorifying depression. That's how someone put it, which I thought that at first. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess that would make sense. But like, after I went, I'm like, I don't think so.
No.
I think the opposite.
That's just it. Is like, I've mentioned it to a few people, and they're kind of like, yeah, you shouldn't be sad and stuff. Like, don't worry about it. Like, you shouldn't be trying to be sad and stuff. I'm like, no, that's not like the idea, you know. It's not that like they see this and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna be sad too. It's that they're already feeling it, you know. People that are usually into emo music too, they're already feeling something. I don't know. They have a lot of emotions. Emo music's very emotional music. So like they already have those feelings. They already feel sad as fuck. But like it's cool because I was talking a little bit about, like, the tribalism there and the community there. It's kind of like a community then. Like, you see that and you're like, all right, all these people are sad too. Like, it's not weird to be sad. I'm not alone in this sadness. Like, everyone's sad with me. So, like, it doesn't make it as bad. It's weird to think that, like, more sad people would make you less sad. But, like, it just happens to be like that because, like, then you don't feel alone, at least, in your thought process.
I think it gives a good balance.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it makes you happy. It's kind of weird because, like, it makes you happy. Like, oh, all these people, like, together, we're all having fun. But you're also like, man, a lot of these people in this room are super fucking sad. It's like their one night of the year when they're going to be super happy. It's like their own, man, that's kind of fucking a bummer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. But, yeah, that was essentially our emo night. It was big for me. Ever since then, I have been, like, listening to a lot more music, you know. Before that, like I've said before, it was more of a mindless listening, and now it's much more of a, like, I'll try to listen to the words, and then it's who's this band and stuff like that. I'm gonna listen to more of their songs. If I really like them, like, I'll just go to, like, their Spotify and start sorry, I burped. I'll start listening to all their songs and stuff as well to see, like, okay, did I just like that one song or do I like all of them, you know? So, like, I did that with, like, Taking Back Sunday, and yeah,
that's a fucking, that's classic shit.
Yeah, and so that's it happened because, like, I was going through one of the, like, random playlists for Spotify, and I found a song I liked, and I was like, all right, it was Cute without the E. Have you heard that?
Yeah, that's their like biggest song. Yeah, I know. That song's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I listened to that and I was like, wow, like, I really like this song. So then I started,
was that your
like,
first time hearing that song?
Yeah, it absolutely was.
Oh, that's so nuts to me.
Yeah, and, like, I found it once. I was like, wow, that's a really good song. And then, like, it came across a few more times throughout my, like, listening. I'm like, this is a really good song. Like, I need to check this out. So then I, like, go to the band. I start listening to their songs. I like a lot of these songs. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll listen to this. And so, yeah, then it got, like, added to my, like, playlist and stuff. So, no, it was really cool. And so, like, that's more or less what I'm doing now. It's a lot more music listening and actually, like, getting into the music. And it's ever since Emo Night, because, like, I saw the emotion shared, I guess, the vibe it gave off. Like, it was cool. It was a cool event, and I wanted to get more into it. So, ever since then, I've been doing it.
Thank God you're finally listening to music like a fucking normal person. Because, like, I remember when, like, I always, in height, like, growing up, I had Shrocco and Liam, and we were always kind of, like, had similar taste. At least we always were kind of, like, we were, I guess the older we got, we all kind of went in different directions, but, like, in high school, we were all kind of in the same boat. Like, same area, same general vicinity, music-wise. We all listened to very similar bands. We all had, like, bands we all, like, liked. But, like, then I got Sock and Shrocco was like, oh, me and Shrocco still listen to music. But then, like, then it was like, man, I remember, like, I think I talked to you once about music, and you're like, oh, I just kind of, like, listen. I was like, God damn it. God fucking damn it. Another one of you.
Fucking chill.
I was I was like, oh, God. Fucking people are all the same. But, yeah, well, that's awesome, though. I'm super happy, though, that you're, like, it's kind of did that for you. Like,
yeah.
Like, God, fuck, if you didn't know that Taking Back Sunday song, there's a fucking world of music you're going to fucking crack open, and it's going to be insane.
I want you to know that I so much didn't know that song that it ruined my check this shit out for the week.
What do you mean?
I thought I was innovative. I was the Christopher Columbus of this song, and I was like, I am about to throw this in Lucas's face for check this shit out, and he's gonna be like, whoa, he's gonna have to take back on it.
I mean, I haven't listened to that song in a long ass time. It's been a minute, but, like, oh fuck, I mean, yeah, we can fuck it. If you want to pick something else, you can, but I'm okay with that.
I've got this other band that my friend. All right, so do you want to go ahead and go to the check this shit out then?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, we'll do it. Fuck it.
All right.
Well, so then, are we doing my big thing now?
No, we'll save that for the end.
We'll just do yours?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, this works. Fuck it. So then, are we doing last week's check this shit out too?
Yeah, let's start with that one and then come to, like, what I'm giving you for this week.
Actually,
how's that sound?
Let's okay, fuck it. Just go. Fuck it. Do whatever you're gonna do. Never mind.
All right. So, well, you came up with the name for how we. So last week, me and Lucas each gave each other a song to listen to.
A gift, if you will.
Yes, a gift. And this week we listened to it throughout the past week, and this week we're going to talk about what our thoughts on it was. And Lucas came up with a very, very clever name for this. When we give each other a song, well, it's called Check This Shit Out, and when we come back to the song, Lucas came up with probably the best name I've heard so far for the podcast. It encapsulates it.
I try to write it down, but I can't find it.
Yeah, I figured. I thought I'd try to take up some time while you did that and just hype up your name.
The name was something like, you gave me some shit, I'm going to ingest said shit, and then I'm going to shit it back out for you. So
it's perfect. It's concise.
It's a working title. It's pretty short and to the point. It's not working.
It's set in stone. Yep.
Set in stone.
That's it.
It's going to change every week, because I definitely said something very different last week. So. All right.
And you gave me Coffee at Midnight by Stand Atlantic.
Fuck yes, I did.
And I want you to know that I listened to the song, I would honestly say, like 70 times.
Isn't it a fucking banger?
It is so good. Like, literally. It
starts off amazing. Like,
yeah.
So, I'm going to wait to talk about it a little bit, because that's a band I'm going to talk about. I saw them live, which is why. I guess I'll tell you why. So, when I went to see Neck Deep and Trophy Eyes 2 weeks ago, I think now. 2 weeks? Yeah, that sounds right. Whenever I saw them, a couple weeks ago, Stand Atlantic was the opening band, and I had never heard of them. I didn't know any of their music. And they came out, and they played that song, and it's called Coffee at Midnight, and it immediately grabbed my attention. Because it's like that. I love when something about a band, like, having just a killer chorus, and they open with that chorus, is so fucking awesome. And that chorus is amazing. I immediately, the second they sing it, you're like, oh, I know that. It's such a catchy chorus, and you immediately singing along. It just feels good. I love that song. Let me hear your thoughts on it.
No, yeah, absolutely, and that's very similar to what happened to me. So, I played it, I think, in my car first, and I was like, oh, wow, this is really good. And then, I played it, on repeat over and over, and, within the third time, I was just, singing, hardcore, I am going hard, I was super into the song, and no, yeah, it's perfect. It fits that pop-punk genre hardcore, I really dig it, and, I'm also a big meaning in the song guy, and I dig it 100%. I was really down for it. It felt super relatable, just in general relatable, and right to that emotional but powerful meaning that's all in this pop punk genre. To me, it was just you're in those moments sometimes where it's basically gonna be a rough night, you know it's going to be sad, whatever's about to happen is not going to be fun on your end, whether it's a death, a breakup, whatever, it's not going to be cool in your mind, but you just want to get through the night for now, you don't want to deal with the future at that point, you just need to get through the night, and that's what really kind of, it sounded like a desperate plea to just get through the night, and One Last Chance was kind of that let me change your mind, Coffee at Midnight type thing, but the whole the main chorus of just I just want to say goodbye, good night. I don't want to say goodbye.
I don't want to say goodbye. Can we just say good night?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's just that was the super right once I heard that, I'm whoa, I feel that sometimes, it's just let's just get through the night. I'll deal with everything else on another day, but I don't want to think about it all tonight,
Yeah, I kind of have a similar meaning for the song.
Mm-hmm.
It's
yeah.
To me, that song, so when I first heard it, I thought the song was going to be I thought it was going to be a love song where it's I don't want this night to end. So let's just coffee at midnight, stay up all night, and let's have the night never end, or kind of that bullshit, kind of those classic love songs, the night never ends, or whatever,
Yeah.
But I kind of like that the chorus is a bit misleading in a way. Once you learn what the song's about, it kind of isn't, because to me that song's about a failing relationship.
Yeah.
And this night's our last stand. This is the last let me change your mind. Let's try to fix this. I don't want this to end, but how's the? I should have written down the chorus. I don't want to change your. Can we just coffee
Let me try to change your mind. I think it is. Let me try to change your mind. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like of course it's basically like how do I change your mind, like to not do whatever the other person's going. It's such a good fucking song. The lyrics are so fucking good. Like probably my favorite line in the song is like, if you're no damn good for my mental health, then what's the use in hanging around? Like, God damn, that's like it's like the thing I love about music like this, or people who write lyrics like that, is there's no bullshit. It's all like pretty clear what they're trying to say, and that line is like, like I can relate to that. If you're no good for my mental health, then what's the fucking use in being around you? Which is just like, it's such a good like kind of fuck you line.
Yeah, like, exactly. I thought the same thing. That line got me like every time, where I was like, hell yeah, like that's exactly that's exactly like my mindset that usually people don't understand. I know like you and our friend Johnny are the few people in the world who are like, yeah, that makes sense to me. But like, majority of people are just like, what are you talking about? You're not gonna be friends with me anymore? And I'm just like, no, we're not that type of people.
I don't even want to fucking get into this right now.
Yeah, no, this is a whole nother podcast.
Jesus, yeah, that's fucking Jesus Christ.
Christ. Stay tuned for the future episode on cutting everyone in your life off.
Yeah, it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, so let's hear about you. I gave you 1980s horror film by the Wallows, and it's definitely more of like an alternative song than it is a punk song in my mind. I gave it to you because it was a little different, I was sure, than like what you were used to, in a sense. Like I knew you've listened to like Indian stuff totally, so like I knew you wouldn't be like, whoa, what's this genre? But like it was just kind of like not in that genre, so it was a little different.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It's a weird one to talk about because it's a weird song. Like it's kind of, I don't even like it's I try to put thoughts down for it. I listen to it like every fucking day, like multiple times a day. So it grew on me. Like the first time I listened to it, I'm like, I like that song a lot. And the second time I'm like, that's a good song. And then the third time I was like, how the fuck do I feel about this song? And I couldn't realize, like I couldn't think it. And I'm like, it's kind of funny because like to me that song is a dude just trying to get laid, and they're watching some shitty horror movie. And then like in the end of the song, what's the line? Like she's like, I'm not that into guys anyway. And he's just kind of like, what the fuck? It's such a good like it's just a good song. I'm kind of having a hard time putting words to it.
That's totally fair, because like that's the first time it was played for me, I was like, it's honestly more of a story than a song. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the cool part about it, I think, is like you can like picture it in your mind throughout the whole song. You know, you're like, okay, he's going to her house, he's watching movies, you know, stuff like that. Oh, this is kind of sweet, stuff like that.
I picture like two college kids.
Yeah, exactly,
like
exactly.
It's like she like got off the bed so I could sit there while it's like something about her sitting on the bed and him sitting in the chair. It's like such a weird like, I don't know, it's such a weird detail, but it's, I don't know. That's kind of what I like about it's super like, if I had to pick like, that is so, it sounded so fucking indie, and not in a bad way. It's like, I don't listen to much indie music, but like I like it, and I like how like indie that sounded. It was like, it's just I don't remember.
Exactly. That's the details in it are what kind of like do it, because then it makes it like it makes you kind of like feel it in a sense. You're like, oh, it's a crush. Like I remember those feelings, stuff like that. I remember being happy and surprised and stuff like that. And I'm kidding. I'm a very happy person. And I just like to get that out, because a lot of this podcast I end up talking about, oh, I was so sad that one night. It's not the case. I'm a very happy person. I smile 99% of the day. I just walk around with a smile on my face. So yeah, that done. End of story. And and then you're feeling it all, and then like right at the end you find out that she's a lesbian and she wasn't into him the whole time, and it's just like, oh, you got me there. Like I was really into this relationship, and you turned the tables.
Funny. I laughed like out loud when I first the first time I sat down and listened to it, and I put it all together in my head. I'm like, that is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
not like when you told me you said it was kind of a funny song. Have you ever listened to Flight of the Conchords?
That sounds familiar, but I could not tell you no.
They're like a comedian band, and they're like
Okay.
just straight up comedy. But they're just like they're you gotta listen to them. They're super weird, but they're I thought it was gonna be like that, but then it started playing. I'm like, oh, it's like a real song. And then I was like, when does it get fun? Like, when does it get weird?
Yeah.
Then it didn't really get weird, I guess, in a way I thought. But yeah, it's just I like songs like that where it's like a story. And he has I love that. I like that part where he's saying like it's like the bridge. It's like oh fuck. What is the I'm gonna look up the line.
Yeah, please go for it. I will talk about how gross my feet are during the time that you're looking up. So, yeah, they're very crusty. I don't lotion them ever because I don't like the feeling of lotion, if I'm being honest. It feels like I have like reptilian skin and there's a layer on top that needs to shed off. So every time that I put lotion on, I just wash it off. And because of it, my feet are disgusting. All right,
I got it. Okay, so it's kind of like an Easter egg in the song. It's like, Jamie, I don't know what to say to you. I feel you're always on my mind. And I like that because it's like I think that's the line that kind of threw me for a loop, because then I was like is this, because like that's, I think he's talking about Jamie Lee Curtis, who was in Halloween, like the original Halloween movie, which I think is like what he's trying to say. So I'm like, are they watching that movie, or is he like fantasizing about being with her?
I would.
So then I was like, I kind of got in this weird like, what is this song about? That was kind of the line, but
that's fair. That's a good line. But yeah, no. Overall, like I loved the song you gave me, so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, are you ready for your check this shit out of this week?
Let me grab a pen and a piece of paper.
I just had to look up a new one since apparently everyone else knows about Cute Without Me except me. So
I can't. I'm gonna like totally tell people that you didn't know that song, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I really felt like, wow, I'm real now. I found this song before anyone else, and nope, I did not.
It's like
I was gonna ask you if you knew the band as a whole. So
totally heard it.
That was gonna be my first question.
Taking Back Sunday, Jesus. Of course, I've heard of Taking Back Sunday. I don't know that many. Have you listened to like a bunch of their songs then? Have you like been listening to them a lot?
I'm basically listening to the top 5 on repeat. So
okay.
I mean, it was one of them played at Emo Nite actually. Let me tell you what it was.
Is Taking Back Sunday? Do they sing that Check Yes Juliet? Is that them, or is that a different band?
That may be them. Let's look it up.
There's that
really
song
quick.
that's like check
yeah, totally. I know that song
super,
absolutely.
It's super popular. I feel like that's Taking
No,
Back
that's
Sunday.
We the Kings.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
But no, there was another Taking Back Sunday song that played at Emo Nite that I really liked. It was stop. It was Make Damn Sure.
Make Damn Sure. That's okay. I know that song.
Yeah. It's like the main part is like I don't remember that. I just remember it's like I really want to break you down or something like that. I just want to break you down. It's a really good song, but I was going to give you Coheed and Cambria. Have you heard of them?
I've heard of Coheed and Cambria. Yes.
Fuck. All right. Old Flames.
Is that the name of the song?
Yes.
Okay.
This was
Old Flames.
Yeah, this was turned on to me because I was telling a few coworkers about how, like, not that I basically how I've never been that into music, and they're like, what? And so one of my coworkers he's in a band, he's super into music and stuff, and he was like, I'm going to this concert in St. Louis November 7th or something. He's like, you gotta go, I have an extra ticket. I'm like, oh, we'll see. That's, see what I got going on that day. And I don't know if I want to go to a concert with them. But, and he's like, it's Coheed and Cambria. I've been to like 10 of their concerts, like no joke. I've been to 10 of their concerts. I've been a fan since I was like, they began. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. So then he made a Spotify playlist. It's called Chase's Intro to Music, and shared it with me, and I followed it. But it's just all Coheed and Cambria.
Oh,
So,
Christ.
and that was the first Coheed and Cambria song I listened to. So I was like, no, I'll give Lucas that one. It's on their website. So if anyone wants to listen, it was honestly, yeah, no, that's when he. So I've listened to a few more of their songs, and they're not totally my style. I mean, he's definitely like more into rock, and that's what surprised me about Old Flames was a little bit more pop rock than anything, in my mind. And so like when I heard that, I was like, oh, this dude's into like heavy metal and stuff. He's more of like an Avenged Sevenfold type of guy. And so when I heard that, I was like, all right, well, this is pretty good. Then I started listening to more of their songs. I'm like, yep, all right, this is making more sense. This is more his vibe. And I was like, it's not bad.
Did you hear the song by them called "Welcome Home"?
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's got to be their most popular song. That's the only song by them I know.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's that really cool guitar intro.
That's perfect. Yep, that's exactly.
Basically. Yeah.
All right, so stay tuned for a future episode where Lucas just plays air guitar sounds with his mouth the entire time.
It's definitely coming. It's definitely coming. I'm training now. Heavy into training camp. My coach says I'm doing great.
It's Slash in a room playing guitar while you stand, put your face right next to it, making guitar noises as if you and the guitar are yelling at each other.
And he's like, "You're so much better than me." I'm like, "That's crazy. Isn't it weird?"
A lot of the Coheed and Cambria songs just went on a little too long for me. I was like, oh, this could have ended like solid 2 minutes ago. So
are all their songs like 6 fucking minutes? Are they one of those bands?
Yeah, absolutely. Where they just like, oh, dude, I can play a really good guitar solo, so I'm gonna play a really good guitar solo. Dude, let me get my drum solo in. And then it's just like
is the
this
song
argument
you gave me like 6 minutes?
No, this one was better, so that's why I picked this one.
Thank God. If you gave me a 6-minute song, I probably would have listened to it once. Been like, yeah, dude, I listen to it every day. It was great.
It was so good.
It was so good. I couldn't stop listening to it. It was so good I could only listen once.
All right. So, actually, speaking of that, so your birthday's on January 20th, isn't it?
29th.
No, that's the same thing.
Same
and
basically.
January 20th, there's some cool stuff going on in St. Louis, apparently. There's a few cool bands playing there, but we'll have to look into it. But it's Mayday Parade's playing there one night. Bert Kreischer, or whatever, the comedian. He's in St. Louis. Yeah, he's in St. Louis on the 20th.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I put interested in it because there's a possibility to win free tickets, and I'll go if I win free tickets. But
yeah, I know Mayday Parade's playing. I think they're playing like October.
Maybe it was October. I might be wrong. Yep, it was. It was October 28th. I don't know why I said January 20th.
Yeah, they're playing in like a week.
Yeah, it's the Halloween weekend that they're playing, like before Halloween. Yeah.
Dude, that's super cool because like a year ago, almost in like 2 weeks, it was a year ago I saw the Front Bottoms on Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, it was super cool.
Huh. That is cool.
It's kind of funny.
So speaking of concerts, you went to a concert.
Oh,
didn't you? Didn't you happen to? Oh, okay.
I did. I'm gonna do my check this shit. Thing. I'm gonna give you check this shit out at the end of the show. Because mine's a bigger one, and you already know what it is, kind of. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, so we're building some suspense for it.
Yes, I did go to a fucking concert, and it was an amazing concert.
Really?
So, yeah, I saw 2 of my favorite bands live together, which is awesome. So, I went to go see Neck Deep, and Neck Deep was the headliner, and Trophy Eyes was the co-headliner, I guess you'd say. Not really. It was Neck Deep's concert, but Trophy Eyes was there. But I'm just to start at the beginning. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna wait to get to Neck Deep and Trophy Eyes. So there were 4 bands. It was Stand Atlantic, Waster, Trophy Eyes, and Neck Deep, and they went on in that order. And the first band was Stand Atlantic, which we already talked about a bit. It's an Australian band, really fucking good pop punk band. They're awesome. I think they only have 1 EP out, and their new album comes out like next week, which I'm actually like super stoked for because there's a lot of bands that I've gotten into in like the past like 4 or 5 years that were already like successful bands when I found them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool finding a band like Stand Atlantic that's I think it's super good. Like I don't know if you listen to any of their other stuff.
See, I specifically didn't. Because I was like, okay, I don't want to get a vibe off them yet. I just want to listen to this song before I like make any opinions. So like, I planned on it after this week actually listening to a ton of Stand Atlantic because I loved that song. So I was like, I want to listen to a ton, and I really wanted to listen to some last week, but I was like, Okay, so you mentioned that you really like Offspring, right?
I fucking love The Offspring.
Yeah, good. I fucking hate Offspring. And here's
I cannot believe you just said that to me. I am so fucking offended.
the other week when you told me that you loved Offspring, I almost just said, "All right, well, you have fun tonight at Emo Night. I'll see you." And
You really don't like The Offspring?
I really don't like the Offspring. And here's the thing.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe this.
Here's the thing, is I listened to a lot of Offspring as a kid, and I loved it as a kid. Then I got older, and I'm like, no, all these songs sound the same. I'm not really into this vibe. And
You piece of shit.
so I didn't want to Offspring it up for Stand Atlantic by listening to some of their songs, and then if I like found out that all their songs, like I was a little afraid I'd find out that a lot of their songs are a little too, like, I totally get, you know, you have a genre, you're sticking to a genre, like everyone does that. It was just like I was afraid it was gonna be like once I put all the context together, I wasn't going to like it basically, and then I was gonna be like, I didn't want it to influence my decision on Coffee at Midnight.
That's fair.
So,
That's totally fair.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I totally get that criticism of The Offspring, because you're not wrong. All their songs do sound pretty similar.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, yeah, I still love The Offspring. I think they're
I was
awesome.
gonna say, if you like the similar, like the sound of of them, like that totally works. But I also got like this, I don't know, it's weird because it is like still that genre and stuff, but it's also like, I don't know, the voices in it sound a lot like Sublime to me, like that kind of like nasally super white dude type thing, and it kind of bothers me because like I can't listen to Sublime either, like I can't do it. It bothers my ears. So
I like that. What's that one Sublime song?
There's a really famous one.
Whatever, fuck it. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Sublime doesn't matter.
Anyway, back to... So, yeah,
Atlantic,
like, I would totally recommend listening to all of Stand Atlantic's shit. Like, I've listened to all of it, and I like all of it. Like, I can't think of a song where I was like, I didn't like that. Like, they're all like, man, these are all really good songs. And it made me think, like, this is a really fucking good... But granted, like, I'd listened to all these after the show.
Yeah.
Because, like, during the show, I was like... they started off with Coffee at Midnight, and I was like, holy shit. Like, this is a great song. Like, how have I never heard this song before? It sounds like a song that should be famous. It's kind of... it's, like, so catchy.
Absolutely.
But I kind of... Like, they were really good, and I felt bad for them, because, like, no one in the crowd was really feeling it.
Really?
Because they were the opener, and they only have one EP out. They're an Australian band. This is their first time ever being in the U.S., was this tour. So, like, I kind of get it, but, like... I'll get to my little thing about openers later, but, like, they're just an awesome band, and, like, I felt bad because, like, they didn't get the crowd reaction I felt they deserved, but, like, this is, like, a band, like, I'm totally gonna keep my eye on, because, like, their stage presence was fucking top-notch. They sounded fucking great live, and they had a good interaction with the crowd. Like, the lead singer was she's really fucking funny. Like, she was talking, like, the first thing they said was, like, hey, we're Stand Atlantic, we're from Australia, this is our first U.S. tour ever, and, like, she was talking about how, like, weird the U.S. is, which is kind of funny, and she was like, I just love how when I yell American things, you guys shout back at me, because she was like, Wendy's, and everyone's like, Wendy's, ah, and she's like, it's so great, like, it was just, like, really funny, how she was like that, but yeah, they're a great band, but I'm gonna move on to the second of the evening, which was Waster. What were you gonna say?
No, that's I was actually gonna say, like, just that's what gets me, I guess. I went to a surprise concert this weekend, and that's what gets me basically, is just like seeing how the performers are as performers, like what a performance they put on, like their connection with the crowd, and like charisma in a way. Like there's definitely a difference from like getting on stage and playing music versus performing like a show, you know what I mean? Like, you can see the difference as a fan. But
for sure,
yeah.
So the second band that played was called Waster. That's the name of the band, and they were spelled WSTR. And this is I guess they're somewhat popular. Like, they're getting bigger. They just came out with a new album not that long ago. There's a lot of criticisms that they're very similar to Neck Deep, which is kind of funny because I think they're from the same place. I know they're from the UK. I don't know if they're from Wales, but they sound very similar to Neck Deep, but they're a lot different what they sing about. I think they kind of have a more like punk vibe, more like angry vibe to them, which I kind of like. They have a hard, more like edge to them. I really didn't know anything about this band before I saw them. I had heard of them, and I knew they just came out with a new album, and I knew one song by them called Featherweight, which is a fucking banger. That song's just about partying and like getting drunk with your friends. So this is like a fun song. They were fucking like awesome live. They were amazing.
Really?
Like they got the crowd moshing like hardcore. Like the room opened up and everyone was moshing. It was awesome. And they were like really like into it. They just had a great stage presence and crowd interaction. It was just awesome. And after I saw them live, I listened to their new album called Identity Crisis. It's a really fucking good album. Like, I highly recommend that album to anybody that like likes pop punk. It's just a really fucking good album. Identity Crisis. It came out like 2 months ago, I think. But like, that's another band. Like, since I saw them live, I started listening to them, and they're really good. But to wrap those two bands up and get to the important people,
I'm not gonna lie to you. When I saw the name, I definitely thought it was like, did you go to a radio station like WSTR? Like I was like, oh, all right, that's a really weird name. Like it sounds like the name of a radio station or something, you know?
Yeah, I would never have gotten Waster out of that.
No, did not register. When you said that, I was like, Waster? That doesn't sound like what he told me. And I was like, nope, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah, but so like these two, like the openers, I'll just talk about like they were probably like the best openers for show I'd ever seen.
Really?
They kind of did the job they kind of did what they're supposed to do because their job is to get you excited for the headliner.
Yeah.
And they're also supposed to get you like just hype in general for the concert.
Yeah.
But they also got you hyped about their band. Because like I give a shit about both of these bands now. And any other show I've seen, most shows I've seen, with the exception of a few, I didn't give a shit about the openers.
Yeah.
And a lot of concerts I've been to, I haven't gone back to listen to the openers. Because I didn't care. And they didn't make me care. With the exception of a few, but like these two, like now I have all their music on my phone. And I listen to their music. And I like them a lot. And I like want them to make more music. Which is awesome. So you never really get that very often.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's like interesting you say that because the surprise concert was like a Jesse McCartney concert, and like there's not gonna be a whole lot to say about it, so like I can just kind of dwiddle it in here and there in relation, I've decided. And like basically like the openers weren't his genre at all, and I've seen it a few times now, is like they were trap rap, you know?
Oh, Christ.
And yeah, and they were DJs that played trap rap, and I think they just got them because they were from SIU and stuff, so they were like, oh, people like this, and they got them, and everyone was in their seats. But like Jesse McCartney is a pop singer, you know what I mean? And so like and he's a vocal lyricist of a pop singer, so like it was not his vibe at all, so it was really weird to see, and nobody was down for it because everyone came there to see this genre, and they're given this genre as an opener. It didn't hype for the show at all, and in doing that, it made those people like me less interested in them because I wasn't going there to see pop, but most of the people going there weren't going there to see trap rap for sure, you know? So it definitely just made it lost interest in them. It lost interest in the show. It was a downer for the opener for sure.
Yeah, that always sucks when you get an opener that's just shitty at a concert. But on to the fucking really awesome part of the show. Probably my favorite part of the show. Probably. It'd be hard to say no to it. But Trophy Eyes. Which, they're the only reason I went to this concert. The only reason I bought tickets for the show. Because I wanted to see Trophy Eyes so fucking bad. Because this is like a band that... They've been around for a while, but in the past 2 years, they've kind of blown up. And I didn't start listening to them till the beginning of the summer. Like May. May is probably when I discovered them. So they came out with the single called "You Can Count on Me," which is a fucking amazing song. So like you probably heard it. It's like
I don't think so.
Some of my friends sell drugs. I just sell sad songs. Jesus. Oh, okay. That's it, I guess. But
I'm putting it in my my playlist here now.
Okay, it's put their whole fucking album, The American
All
Dream.
right.
Actually, wait on that, because they're gonna come up later at the end of the show.
Ooh,
But anyway,
can you just give me a teaser?
A little bit about Trophy Eyes. They're an Australian band. They have 3 albums out. The first is called Jesus Christ. The first album is called Men to Move On. The second one is called Chemical Miracle, and the third album is called The American Dream. The American Dream came out in August, and like that album, kind of like I think that album was a really big album. It was like, just a really really good album.
Yeah,
one of the best albums I've ever heard. Good, and they're just like a really good band. And this band kind of like, for me, it kind of came into my life at a perfect time. Cause like when at the end of like the school year, I'd listen to like the Wonder Years and all these like Blink-182 and all these old punk bands I listened to like to death. Like I've been listening to them for like weeks on end. I just put them on their albums on repeat. I played the front bottoms and the Wonder Years to death. And I was kind of getting sick of them, and I was looking for something new. So I just kept going in fucking circles with music, and then I discovered Trophy Eyes. It kind of made me fall back in love with like pop punk, because they are a pop punk band, but they're also not, because they're really different. The thing I like about them the most is like they do weird stuff with their music. Like they're not like traditional pop punk. Like they fit in the genre, but they don't do it by the formula a lot of other pop punk bands do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't yet, but I have that. Yeah.
When you listen to them, I think you'll know, you'll understand.
Yeah,
if you listen to them, you'll like, because you'll hear like they do a lot of experimenting with sound, especially on Chemical Miracle. There's like there's one really fucking weird song that like almost doesn't fit in with the album. So it's kind of like a weird like electronic song, but it's really good. But yeah, they're like an amazing band. They're just great all around. They have some of the best fucking lyrics I've ever heard in music. They're just incredible. Like just probably one of my top 5 bands now. They like within months they did that, which is kind of insane to me. So it took like years, like probably like a good year for me to fall in love with the front bottoms. And like I was in love with Trophy Eyes after the first album I listened to. So I just immediately knew like this band is fucking special. And they are. Like that's the best way to describe it, is that they're fucking special.
Yeah.
And let me talk about the fucking show.
Please.
So this was Trophy Eyes' last day on tour with Neck Deep and the rest of the bands. They were going back to Australia to headline a tour. So this was their last day on the tour. So every other band was like, this is Trophy Eyes' last day, make it fucking special for them. So like Waster ended, everyone's waiting for Trophy Eyes. And like they started by playing a song called Cotton Candy Sky off their newest album. And then they came out and played You Can Count on Me, which is like the chorus of that song is just a chant. It's like so everyone's chanting along and singing, and like I've seen a few bands I love live, but like no fucking band has blown me away quite like they did. Like just like it's mostly the lead singer, because like his fucking stage presence is insane. Like write this down. After this is over, watch the music video for Friday Forever.
Alright.
And in that music, that's a great song. But that music video is just the lead singer in a room dancing.
Really?
It's just him dancing in a room.
Huh.
And it's super weird, but it's awesome. And how he moves in that music video is like how he dances on stage times 10. Like the way he was moving and the way he was singing, like blew me away that he could still sing that well. The way he moved, so he's like jumping. He's got to be like 6'7". He's fucking huge. He's just a giant, tall, skinny dude. He's like really tall. He's definitely like 5 inches taller than me, and he's just really tall. He's like dancing and jumping, like doing flips and shit, like crazy. But like, yeah, they were awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I had to look him up.
Yeah.
Wow, he is. Oh yeah, he's a big boy.
He's very tall. But some of the songs, they started off with You Can Count on Me. They played Heaven Sent, Something Bigger Than This, More Like You, Miami and the Choir. They played Broken, and they ended the show with Friday Forever. Which is kind of perfect because it was on a Friday, and that song is just like amazing. It's just a song. It's called Friday Forever.
Yeah.
But something really awesome happened in like the middle of their set, and like the lead singer was like, "I gotta say something. I gotta say something now. Like, 'cause it's the last show, and I gotta say it." He started talking about Neck Deep, and I did not know that Neck Deep and Trophy Eyes started around the same time.
Really?
Like they started in the same year being a band. Like they became a band in the same year. And Neck Deep has had quite a bit of success. They're very popular. They're probably the biggest pop punk band right now. Probably, I would say they are.
Yeah. And normal people know of them.
Trophy Eyes was talking about they wrote a song and they put it out there through a record label and nobody gave a shit. Like only like 200 people listened to it, and it was like heartbreaking for all of them. So they're like, this was because like the lead singer was like, "This is my dream, and it's dead now. He's like, it's dead in front of me, and there's nothing I can do about it." And then Neck Deep called, and it was like, "Hey, if you guys can write some more songs, how about you go on tour with us in Australia?" And they were like, "What?" Because like, so then they went on tour with Neck Deep in Australia, and then like they became best friends. And since then, they've kind of had this like really cool relationship where like they've both grown in really different ways, and like Neck Deep kind of blew up immediately, and Trophy has kind of had this slow build, and now they're like boom, now they're kind of out there. But it was really awesome hearing like the lead singer being like, "We owe our career to you.
Wow.
Like you stuck your neck out for us, and because of you, I can have a life making music and like live my dream." It was like a super it was just like a really cool seeing like that moment. Like it was just so genuine and like honest.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. And then like all of Neck Deep was on stage when he said that, so like all the bands hugged and like everybody was crying. It was just like a really cool moment. And then they played like 2 more songs and finished the show. But it was just it was just awesome.
No, that's really cool. That's
Yeah, like,
really cool. That's an interesting story too. It makes it feel like, I don't know, closer to the bands and stuff, you know?
Because like that's like it was so cool because like that wasn't something he posted on Instagram. That was something he told to like the few hundred people that were in that room.
Yeah, so you felt like a part of something?
You did. Like you felt like he included you. You know what I mean? Like you feel like you're part of like a weird little club now, which is really cool, and it was just awesome. Like I didn't know that story. I didn't know that that's how it happened. Like I never would have known that if I didn't go. It was awesome. It was just super cool. And then they finished their set, and like for their last song, Friday Forever, like the members of Neck Deep were coming out taking away their instruments. So like at the end of Friday Forever, there was only one guitarist on stage.
Oh really?
They took away everybody else, and like the drummer only had like his snare drum and like one cymbal. So it was super
That's pretty
weird.
cool.
It was kind of funny though. They were doing this weird thing that I had never heard about, which is they're called barbershop chairs. They're called barbershop, and they bring out a literal barbershop chair, and they made the band members sit in it, and they pour like booze into their mouth until they're done, and they call it like getting a haircut. I think that's what they said the name of it was. It must be like a British thing or like a European thing.
Okay, yeah.
So I had never heard of it.
Me
and
neither.
then like they do that, and then like afterwards everyone's like, "Oh, it's a haircut I didn't want and didn't really enjoy." So they just like pour whatever booze they have on, like. 'Cause they did for Neck Deep too, and they gave him like gin. And he's like, "I fucking hate gin." That was the most disgusting thing. It was like just really funny. But yeah, so after Trophy Eyes was done, we had to wait for Neck Deep to come on. And like Neck Deep, I was like, they're totally gonna come out with like fucking some crazy like entrance, which they did. Like, 'cause like you can watch like people set up the stage and bring out the drum sets and the guitars and everything. But they didn't bring anything out. They just cleared the stage except for the drum set. I'm like, that's kind of weird. And then like all you see is like the dry ice and like fog fill the room. You can't see anything. But then they started playing Motion Sickness. Which, like it's the first song off the Peace and the Panic, and then they come on, everyone's playing. Like they appeared out of nowhere. Like somehow the fog dissipated out of nowhere, and then they're playing, and they play that song, and everybody goes fucking nuts. And usually after the first song, the band's like, "This is who we are. This is where we're from. We're gonna keep playing." Like the lead singer goes, "Fuck it, keep playing. We're keeping it going." And then for like 5 songs, they don't stop. They don't take breaks between. They just quit and they keep going. So like they keep the energy going. Then afterwards, they're all like, "Whoa, that was intense." And the lead singer started talking, and he's like, "Yeah." So he's like, "This concert is gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey we're all going on. We're gonna have a lot of highs and have a lot of lows. We want to have some highs again and some lows. That's life, everybody. We'll all have highs and lows, but we're gonna have them together. So we're all going on a journey together right now. They kept playing, and I was like, whoa, like, this is going to be pretty fucking crazy. It's going to be a crazy concert. And it was kind of great because they kind of told you, because, like, they brought you up and down. Like, they played, so they started off with, like, 6 bangers, like, some of their best songs. And then they kind of went to, like, slower songs like Parachute. And they did that cover, you know that song, Torn?
That sounds familiar.
Like, nothing's right, I'm torn, I'm all out of faith. You know that song?
Yes.
They did a cover of that.
Okay, yeah.
And it's on a new album called Songs That Saved My Life.
Huh.
That some record company, I think it's Hopeless Records, they're doing it to, like, promote. It's, like, to raise money for, like, suicide prevention or mental health awareness. It's, like, they're raising money for something like that. And they talked about that a lot. But then they kept playing, and they played, like, they did, like, a great array. Because, like, they have 3 albums out and a couple EPs and a split. And they played a few songs off their first album, a decent amount off their second, and a lot off their third. But it was they definitely, I liked how they covered everything. Because like they played, I think the song's called "I Couldn't Wait to Leave" 6 months ago. It's like, what did you expect? And that's one of the first songs they ever made as a band. So they're like, who's a Neck Deep fan? And like everybody put their hand up.
Right.
And I haven't been a Neck Deep fan that long. I always knew about Neck Deep, but I didn't really get into them until I bought tickets for this concert.
Okay.
But like now, I love Neck Deep. Like they're they're like they're always like, I'm always playing them now. So they're like one of the bands I've added to, like, they're like in my, now they're in like my cycle of music. Them and like Sand Atlantic, Trophy Eyes, Waster, they're in the cycle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is awesome. But
I think I came across the Neck Deep. It was after, like, you got me into the Front Bottoms, and then I started listening to more like that, and so then it was like Neck Deep came across, and I was like, oh, I like some of those songs, so I started added those to the playlist. Them and like Real Friends both came across that way. But yeah, so that's how I came on Neck Deep. I want to say it was before we went to Edwardsville, so it's like a year and a half ago, I want to say. But yeah,
they're great. They're a really good band. But so a few really fucking cool things happened during the Neck Deep set. They played a song called "Don't Wait," which is off their newest album, and it's a pretty, like, it's a really punk song. It's about like I highly recommend going to listen to it. But like Sam Carter from the Architects does like a screamo bit in it, and it's like my favorite part of the song. Like the lines like "No kings, no queens, no justice, no peace," and like that's he just screams that over and over and over, and a few other things. But John, the lead singer from Trophy Eyes, ran out on stage when that part was coming up, and he did that part.
Really?
And it was like super fucking cool, because I was wondering, I'm like, who's gonna sing that part? Because that part's like just straight up screamo. So like, but then he did it, and I was like, that was fucking awesome. Then he just ran off stage and he was gone. So he was only out there for that little bit. But then after "Don't Wait," they played "December." And the lead singer, I was talking about how, I was like, this song's really sad, but it's a bop and it's a banger, but it's still sad, so everybody just dance. This guy was pretty funny. They started playing "December," and everyone was like, "Oh, December!" It's a great song. It's probably like it's probably their most popular song.
Yeah.
But the bassist from Trophy Eyes came out and sang the guest part on that song.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. And then, like, have you ever heard of that song by them called "Candor"?
I'm not sure.
It's a song. So there's a story behind the song, and it's about like his dad. It's about him, because the lead singer's dad died like last year, I guess.
Wow.
And that song is about him fearing his dad's death. And he wrote the song like it's off like their first album. But he's like, after December, he's like, all right, so this is a part of the show that gets kind of rough, and this is where things kind of go down. This is where we get really low. And I was kind of like, okay. And he talked about how it was weird how he related to songs. He talked about what the song's about. He's like, this is about my dad and how I feared this is before my dad died, how I was like afraid of what it was going to be like when he died, how I was going to feel. It's kind of crazy. He's like, and he started talking about music and how important music is, and how like music is like life. And he's like, music is how I know everybody's the same. Every human being on the planet is the same. So at some point in their life, you turn to music for something. Whether it's a release, you turn to music for answers in yourself or in life, or you're just looking for help and music's there, or just whatever. It was really cool, like, hearing him say, because I never thought about that before. I'm like, oh my god, everybody is the same. Like, everybody does that. Whether you love music or you hate it, like, everybody does it. It was just, like, a really cool moment and, like, talk he had. Then he played the song. And, like, then, one thing he said was, like, he talked about how popular the band's become. And he's like, none of that matters to me. But when I, like, listen, when I'm at this, he's like, when I'm playing for you guys, and I realize that my music has had an impact on your life, and at least one of your lives, that's the greatest achievement we could ever ask for. Which is another, like, it was, like, just, like, a cool, like, genuine moment where he's like, I'm just so grateful that you guys, like my music, that, like, I'm able to do this. It was just really awesome. And then he did, what happened next? Then they played 1970 something. And this is when it got super sad. That's another song about his dad.
Yeah.
But that song's like the story of how his dad and his mom met. And it's like, it's kind of it's a good song because it's very misleading. Because it starts off, it's very like upbeat and it's happy and it's like really good. But then it like turns into this like song about how the day his dad had a heart attack and he died and how he didn't get to say goodbye to him. But before he talked, he told the story about the song, and it's about how his parents met at a disco, like in the 70s, and his mom had just been divorced, and his dad was going to get married in like 2 weeks. And they met at this disco, and they like danced the night away, basically. And then he drove her home, and then she told him, like, hey, I wish I could save you for myself. And then like a couple weeks later, they got married. Which is just like nuts. Like, and he talks about how he's like, he kind of, it turned into a weird like speech where he's talking about how like he basically said like love like that doesn't exist anymore, and he equated it to basically like Instagram and Tinder, because he said all anybody's out there is for the quick fix. All everybody wants is to get their rocks off right now. They don't want to wait. They don't want to do crazy stupid things for someone they care about. It was like a really cool kind of talk about. It was kind of really depressing too, because you're like, oh wow, that's weird. Like they just went on this weird rant about how social media is the worst thing ever. But it's kind of funny. But he said like, it was something kind of, he said like, you never know, you might have met the person you're gonna fall in love with in this room right now. Which was like, Jesus, I hope not. Christ, hope I didn't. But
I think you did.
Let's not talk about that. But so something cool that happened at the end of the show, right before they played their last song. Trophy Eyes, the band Trophy Eyes was on stage with them. And the lead singer was like, well, I guess since you said something nice to me, I had to say something nice to you. And it was kind of like, he talked about the band. He's like, when you guys started off, you were he's like, you guys you had a sound, and he talked about their sound. So then you came out with your second album, and you changed everything. You quit playing for like, you didn't play for the people, you played for yourselves. And he's like, and that's when you became a great band. That's when you guys became truly special. And like the lead singer of Trophy Eyes was literally just like sitting on the back of the stage and crying. It was like super sad. So he's like, and like the lead singer was like, we like neck deep could not be more proud of you, of who you've become and how hard you've worked to get to where you are, and like everything you've earned, you deserve. It was like a really awesome moment. I mean, like we're fucking our friends, and we like care about you, like, just like super proud of you and like happy for you. Then they ended the show with like In Bloom, and then they had their encores, whatever. But it was just like fuck. It was just like that. Like they're like neck deep. Like they've won I know they've won a bunch of awards for being like the best live band. But like this, they deserve all those awards and more. Like they are such a good live band. They're like awesome on stage. They sound great live, and they're just like the energy they have in their songs translates so well to live music. It's kind of the same way for Trophy Eyes, but it was just the fucking concert was sick. That's my wrap up. It was an amazing concert. It was amazing.
Fair. That's what I was gonna say. It sounds like it was like, in a weird way, it was way like a big performance too. Way more of a concert. You know what I mean? Like all this like dynamic between these bands and stuff. It sounds pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah,
It
sounds
was like
pretty intense.
it was pretty great because like they didn't take it seriously. Because like when I go
Mhm.
see the Wonder Years, like it feels more serious. Cause, like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the Wonder Years, they don't. It's not that they don't like not the neck deep and trophies don't sing about serious stuff, but like they're there to have fun.
Yeah.
Not that the Wonder Years aren't, but it's a different kind. It's kind of different. It's a different vibe in the room,
Yeah.
which is kind of. I like that vibe, but this vibe was fucking awesome. 'Cause this is just like pure energy.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know?
Speaking of that, have you ever thought about your parents dying?
Have I? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Everybody does.
Yeah, but like, how deep have you gone into it?
I've never like I mean I think about it like as I think about it as I get older. And I see
Yeah, yeah.
Because like, as you get older, you see your parents get older too.
Uh huh.
And there's that moment, I always talked about it like it's the moment I always called it the moment you realize heroes don't exist, that your parents aren't invincible.
Mm-hmm.
Superheroes aren't real cuz like
Yeah.
I always looked up to like I always thought like you when you're a little kid, I think like every little kid thinks like their dad's invincible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's always that like
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
about like,
no,
your dad is like
Wait, do you say invincible or invisible?
invincible.
Oh, yeah, we had different fathers.
Okay. But I had this thing thinking
I
my
know.
dad's invincible, and you kind of have that mentality towards him. You kind of hold him up in this light, and then the second you see like him get hurt, whatever the hell, it's like whoa, it's like he's human. Then you kind of have this woman like, oh shit, I'm human too. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get old. You know, it's kind of the same way with I think it's even more with grandparents.
Yeah.
Because I see like what my parents do for their parents.
Mm-hmm.
My grandparents like are old now. You know, obviously, the grandparents are older, and getting to that point where like we're putting them in nursing homes and shit like that. It's just like, oh my god. It's like I think about it like, man, how hard is that choice got to be for like my parents to be like, yeah, well, you have to go into a home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had to make the best choice for your own parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
That's such a
yeah.
That's such a
It's-
fuck. I don't even want to like be. I hate thinking about that because it makes me so sad.
Yeah, no, it is really weird because when you're a kid, it's anyone that's like older than you. You know what I mean? Like that's a family member too. It's your parents, it's your older cousins, it's your grandparents. All of them, they just seem like they have to know so much. They have to be like they don't feel human in a way. So superhero is a good word for it. They just don't feel like they're one of you at all. And then like you definitely hit this point where you're like, I don't know, maybe it's weird because it's like that they're like they break, that they are thinking a lot of the same thoughts as you think too, and you're like, whoa, like that's weird, and then I also hit it was like yesterday. It was just a stupid thing where I was like on the phone with my mom and I was like imagining, I'm like, she's probably just in the chair talking to me just like my grandma did with like my uncle when he was like 20 something, and then I've also thought about it like with my little cousins when I'm around them. I'm like, I think about how when I was a little kid and I had like an older cousin, I was like, oh man, they're so cool, like they're again like not human in a way. They just seem like a different type of being, and like I'm literally like one of them, and it's weird to me because it's like you don't feel like one of them, or how you don't feel like what you imagined them to be as a kid, but like, and not in like a sad way. It's just like it's super weird. The perspective changes completely, and like my parents feel like more like just people that I hang out with at this point, rather than like that I'm like really close to, rather than like these beings up above,
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's when you like start to get connected. That's when I started to feel way more connected to them.
To your parents?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wasn't a huge Family Guy my whole life, but then like I don't know, as soon as like as you say, like when you see heroes break or whatever, like that was when it happened, I think, for me, where I was like, these are like cool people who have literally like kept me alive my whole life.
Yeah. I think I don't know if it's fucked up to think, but I always think like whenever I hang out with my niece or nephew, I have that moment where I just like look at him and I'm thinking about him. I think like, man, you're gonna like grow up, you're gonna make friends at school, and like you're gonna make a best friend. That dude's gonna be your friend for life, and then you're gonna like, I think either way interchangeably. Like with my nephew, I'm like, you're gonna be a girl, you're gonna fall in love when you're like 16, and she's gonna be your whole fucking world. and then like one of you is gonna break the other one's heart, and it's gonna be like the worst feeling in your life at the time. And I just think like, God damn, like then I'll like whenever I think about them like that, I'm like, we're all kind of the same. We all live the same life with just like different. You hit different beats at different times. Then I just like, I'm like, oh my God, then like I just kind of like freak out because I'm like, oh my God, someday you're gonna be 20 and I'm gonna be like 30 fucking 8, and oh my God, like I just like think like I'm gonna be so fucking old. Yeah.
I'm not living to be 38. No, see, yeah, I've even gone as far to think of like a speech at my parents' funeral and like what I'm wearing and stuff.
Man. I try not to think about that type of shit. It makes me too sad.
That's usually when I like stop thinking about it, but it's still like, I don't know. It's thoughts across my mind when I dive into the deep fantasy land of Chase.
I definitely think about stuff like that, like, but like that's like the type of shit I don't like thinking about. It's like, God, that is fair. Too like, cause I'm like, that's real. That's gonna happen someday. That's gonna be like horrible. That's kind of why. Cause that's like
I turned in.
What?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit, but
you cut out too.
I turned into a like. Perfect, as long as we both cut out. I turned into like a hardcore bitch when I was like, I want to say it honestly was probably like just this past like year where I realized like, wow, like it is, I am not like, it's not that I'm not like strong, like, you know, like it's just like it is still like it's easy to break people down in a way. It's just like the right buttons, the right Jenga pieces pulled, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like that reference. Thank you.
For sure.
But like, yeah, and so like that's one of them. Like whenever someone dies, I'm not gonna lie, someone that I'm not even like the chancellor at the school just died, and I was like, and immediately what my thought process was like, my parents are gonna die. Like just someday. Like it just was that idea that we're like, wow, people are just like, because it was so immediate. Is what the reasoning was just like. And I've had another one this year that was like the same thing, and it's just like when these like immediate deaths happen, it's just like, whoa, like it's just like that, and it's just done. And like that's one of the things where I'm like, that one might be the ticket to Chase's short breakdowns, with just like the immediate deaths. I'm like, wow, that's really like the ultimate like humbling of your ideas.
Yeah, dude, I always hate when like I feel so, cause like I always thought it would be better if like your parent got diagnosed with like a disease, cancer, and they tell you have 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Because then you have like it's almost like it's over. You know it's over, and you can come to terms with that. And then when it happens, you can be like, I knew this was gonna happen. I prepared myself. But like the people, when someone's just like there and then they're not, that is fucking horrendous. Cause it's just like they're like, it's like they never existed almost. You know what I mean? That's why I always think like, death like that. It's like you never existed. You're just gone forever. Like that's so fucked up. Oh God,
that's the weird thing is like when I was younger and like even until I was at a older, like really older age, like recently, like it wasn't like I thought like, oh, like you're gonna know when someone's about to die. No, like I knew people could go just like that, obviously, but like there's a difference between knowing it in thought and like actually feeling it. And like most of the people that had like died in my life were like old grandparents, where it was like, you know, they passed and I was like, that makes sense, you know, they were like 79, like okay, or like my grandpa had a stroke, and so he was in the hospital for a long period of time, and I was like, all right, like we kind of saw it coming. Not that I wasn't sad, but like we were a little bit more prepared for that possibility. And then like when you actually someone semi like close to you like just goes in a day, just like the next day there you find out they're dead, like that's literally crazy. Like it's like, what do you mean like they're not gonna be in this life anymore? Like that's nuts. Like they were literally here to like an hour ago, you know, and now they're just gone, and I had no idea this was gonna happen. Like it's weird when it catches you off guard like that.
Yeah, I remember when I was a senior or junior. I think I was a senior. I think I was a senior. That sounds right. I was a senior in high school when one of my teachers died, and like he literally, it was like he fucking like he had a heart attack Sunday at like 2:00, and he was dead by like 3:30. Just like happened. He just disappeared. He just died. And like I'm not gonna pretend that he was like my favorite teacher. I didn't dislike him. He was just like, he's my history teacher. He was a good teacher. I liked his class, but I remember like he assigned us a paper, or like, and we had homework. That's Friday. And I remember I did the homework like that's Saturday, and then the school called our houses, and like hey, Mr. Pasley died, blah. Then the next day of school was super weird. It's like we all went to school, we all knew what happened, but none of us talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember we had an assembly, and like the teacher's like, yep, this weekend, Mr. Pasley passed away. Like, this week's gonna be about remembering him. This week is dedicated to Mr. Pasley. If you have like upset or anything, you can talk to us, blah blah blah, all that bullshit. And then like I remember I had his history class, first period. So immediately after that assembly, I had to go up to his fucking classroom and sit there with the rest of the class with our new teacher, like a substitute for the rest of the year. And we all fucking sat in stone silence.
Mm-hmm.
We literally all sat there staring at each other. And it was the most awkward fucking thing ever. Just no one wanted to talk. Because we were all bummed out. So we're like, man, this sucks. Like, Paz is dead. This is so fucking weird that he's just gone and we're never gonna hear him talk. And like that was like because he always had catchphrases, I called him.
Mm-hmm.
He always said like the same shit. Like every time class started, I was like, all right, get your notebooks out, let's get rolling. He always said that. And then I was thinking like I'm never gonna hear that again. And I'm like I'm never gonna see him again. I'm never gonna hear a funny story about Pasley again from anybody. I was like, oh my god. It was like, super depressing. Then I remember thinking like he had daughters. What the fuck are they going through right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, oh god, then I think about shit like that. Like, I think like, what? Man, that's when it gets super sad.
I was gonna say that's when it gets to me.
That's when you put yourself in their shoes. You're like, oh fuck.
And it's like you can't feel what they're feeling by any means, not even like a stretch. Like you can't even comprehend it. But like, and that's what's so crazy about it is the pain that you feel trying to feel what they feel is so like unbearable. So like it's just crazy to like imagine them, like what they must be feeling. If like me trying to feel like they not trying, but like that's my subconscious mind tries to feel what they're feeling. So like me trying to feel what they're feeling is too sad for me. Like what the fuck, they're going through.
What's the real thing gonna feel like?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think. Yeah, because like I had a really close friend whose dad committed suicide, and it was just like the next day he was just gone, and like everyone, she was like, he killed himself, and she saw his body and stuff just laying there, and I was just like, and her mom had died already, so it was like, oh my god, like it got to me hard. What, like, just imagining the pain she must be going through got to me super hard. So I was like, I did not even fathom what you're going through, and I'm not going to even pretend to. Like, this is, like, if you make it through this, I am more than impressed at your ability to be a human being. Like, you have proven yourself as, like, you are worthy to live the rest of your life. If you can make it through this, you can, like, live through anything. I cannot fathom losing both of your parents and seeing one of them, like, their body laying there.
That's so fucking nuts.
Yeah, no, I literally have chills right now thinking of it. Like, it's...
Yeah. That's fucked.
Yeah. So, the concert was good, though.
It was great. Yeah, the concert was fucking awesome, man. It was great. I had a great time. I spent way too much money. I got a bunch of shirts.
In the Lucas way.
Lucas way. Yeah, I wasn't gonna get a shirt, but then I saw they had a shirt. All the shirt says is, "Some of my friends sell drugs," and I was like, I love that shirt. So I bought it because I bought it for a few reasons. One, because I'm hoping someday I'll wear it, and someone points at it and says "Trophy Eyes," and I go, yes. And then I got a yellow shirt for Trophy Eyes too. It just says like Statue of Liberty on like the center. It's like off the new album. And then I got I'm looking at the shirts is why I'm looking off like in the distance. But I got a Trophy Eyes shirt too. That's pretty cool. Very hippie, very tie dye.
Yep.
It was awesome though. Like it was so fucking cool. It might be the best concert I ever went to. For overall experience, it was.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. It's tied with the last Wonder Years concert I went to, because that was pretty fucking unreal. That was a pretty unreal concert. But yeah. Yeah, it was pretty great. Pretty great.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I went to, as I said, like a surprise Jesse McCartney concert this weekend, and there's not much to go into, so that's why I'm just gonna like toss it on as a as a cherry on top of your cake, and it was basically Emily had to write an article about the concert, and I was like, fuck it, I'll go to a Jesse McCartney concert. Like, Jesse McCartney's coming to SIU. As a kid, I was singing The Beautiful Soul. Like, yeah, absolutely. And so I was like, let's go. And so I went, and like I said, the opener was pretty crappy. It was trap rap, and it was not fitting the genre at all. Everyone was sitting down and on their phones and stuff. And then...
Oh, no, people were sitting?
Oh, like sitting down, and he literally was up there saying, "Everyone jump!" And so, like, he's a DJ, so his whole thing is hype. He's standing up there going, "Everyone jump!" and like doing dance moves. And he's like, "I want to see who can do these dance moves." And so he starts like doing dance moves, trying to get the crowd. And there was like 5 of them up there trying to do this.
So, and were people like sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor?
No. Sorry, it was in like, okay. So the setting actually was kind of weird. It was kind of like a theater where you'd put a play on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was the other thing. It's like, it was not a good setting for dancing at all.
Yeah, that's like really fucking bad.
That's because he's like, everyone dance, and I'm like, they've got like a foot of room to do anything. So like, yeah. But either way, yeah, people were not into it at all. And the real opener, there's 2 openers, DJ 393 and Saweetie, Saweetie, Saweetie. And Saweetie did not show up. So, yeah. Jesse McCartney, and I see why when she found out DJ 393 was going to be the opener to her. So, but she was supposed to be trap rap too, which I was like, why would they plan this? And Jesse McCartney came out. I did not expect it. Like, I expected to be like, all right, this is fine, you know, whatever. But like, I'm not a pop fan at all. That's my least favorite genre, which is weird because I like pop punk, but like, I refuse to listen to pop, you know, unless it's like,
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Unless it's like pop that I listened to as a kid and there's just a little bit of nostalgia to it, I'll listen to that just because I can sing along.
There's a few pop musicians I like.
See, I can't do it.
Like, do you know Julia Michaels?
Nuh-uh.
You know that song Issues?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
If you heard it, you would know it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It was like really popular like 2 years ago, but I've listened to her album like a few times because I think she's super good.
You want to know what did me in? It was Happy.
Happy.
The song Happy.
By who?
I just want to be happy. Happy.
The fuck? Is that the Pharrell song?
Yeah, it is the Pharrell song.
But it's like, and when that's like, happy with the do. Yeah, it's like really fast, kind of.
Yeah. That's what made me decide, nope, I'm never listening to pop again.
That song is pretty shitty.
Yeah, no, and everyone loved it, and I got chastised for not liking that song. People in my school were like, "Oh, you don't like Happy? Get the fuck out!" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So,
that was such an issue for me growing up. When people are like, "Oh, you don't like this rapper?" Like,
yeah,
no, dude, I listened to the Wonder Years. Who the fuck are the Wonder Years?
Then they listen to this. What the fuck is this? This is lame.
Yeah.
So yeah,
great. It makes me feel great about myself.
Yeah. So yeah, and I was not expecting to be like down for this at all. Like, I knew he has a good voice. Like, I knew that, you know, I expected that. And he got up there. He was so good live, honestly. Like, he got up there. His guitarist was some guitarist from The Voice, the show, and he played a couple new songs. And apparently he hadn't made new music in like 4 years, and he had made new music. And he played a couple new songs. He played a couple old songs and stuff. But like, his talent was crazy good. His voice is amazing live. Like, seriously, so good. It sounds so much better than, like, I tried to get prepped a little bit. So a little bit before it, I was listening to it on Spotify, and I'm like, this isn't going to be that much fun. Like, I'll sing to the songs I know, but besides that, I'm just going to be kind of like, all right, okay. But he was so good live. So much better than you can, like, even, like, listen to on Spotify. It was cool. And the best part about it, though, was honestly his charisma on stage. Like, it was super cool to see, because like, obviously the target demographic there was like white girls, you know, like anybody that has a vocal octave that's super high, that was his target audience. And so like, it was weird because there was a lot of like older white women there, just kind of like, because from back in their day, for listening to Jesse.
How old is Jesse McCartney?
He's 31, and he looks...
He's only 31?
See, yeah.
I thought he was way older than that.
If you saw him, you wouldn't. He looks like he's 23.
That sounds
like, I knew he was older, anyway, so I like wasn't that surprised. I was just like, wow, dude, you look good for your age. But like, yeah, no. So like, that's obviously his target market, and that's another reason it surprised me so much that there was trap rap before it. But that's his target market. But like, when he got on stage, obviously you heard like it was roaring with high pitched screams, screaming Jesse and stuff. And then like the coolest thing to me was like he'd sing for a little bit, then he'd like stop, look at the crowd, and like do this weird like smile thing where it's like even I was like, wow, you're smooth. Like if I was a female in a bar, you would win me over and take me home in a heartbeat. Like absolutely. And so it was really cool to see him just like do these little things not singing that would get the crowd like roaring and stuff. And that was really cool to see, like just as a fan watching a performer perform rather than like me going in there with like a I love Jesse McCartney type thing. It was more like me going in there completely unbiased and being like, wow, you are good at putting on a show for sure. Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, it was really cool. Like I'm glad I went for sure. But yeah, that's basically all I have on Jesse McCartney. I didn't care much about the music. Like, it was fine. It was
that's
it was
cool,
what I
though.
expected. Like, yeah, no, it was more about the performance.
Yeah.
But to get back, I think all that we have left is my check this shit out, right?
Well,
unless you had more.
Well,
yeah, you're giving it to me.
Yeah.
I will claim it soon.
Okay. Yeah.
My hands are handed out.
So it's a lot. So
mm-hmm.
What I'm giving you is 5 albums. And we talked about this last week after the show. I handpicked 5 albums out of my repertoire, out of my list of music I love, for you specifically. Alright, let me go. I have 4 dead set. There's 2 right now I might switch.
I am ready.
Okay, number 1, Modern Baseball's Holy Ghost. And if you have ever listened to these albums before, please tell me.
You got it.
Trophy Eyes Chemical Miracle.
I can't spell miracle.
Blink 182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket.
I just got it.
And then the 4th one is The Wonder Years, The Greatest Generation. And then, fuck it, I'm going with my original choice. A Day to Remember, What Separates Me From You.
Alright, I'm also going to take a picture of this. That way it is 100% not forgotten.
Yeah.
And I will listen to all 5 of these albums before the next podcast. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to bring my thoughts on them.
Hold on.
Oh, alright.
So there's a few things you have to do.
Alright, let's hear it. Alright,
we might wait 2 weeks to come back to this.
Okay, that's fair.
Because there's a few things you have to do. So you have to rank them out of 5.
Okay. 1 second. Let me. I would like everyone to know I was not prepared for this. So
exactly.
This is.
That's why I didn't tell you about it.
Yes, I'm happy. I like surprises, so I have to rank them.
And then you have to pick a favorite song off each album.
Okay.
You also have to pick the best song off each album, because there is a difference.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I totally know what you mean.
And then...
But for listener's sake, what do you mean by the difference between the favorite and the best?
Like the best song, like, it's kind of just subjective. Like, most of the times they'd be the same for me.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I'm trying to think of an example of... Fuck. I don't know, like...
But basically, like, you can... No, like, are you saying like best song in the sense of like, wow, they really like they had great lyrics, they had a great sound, etc., etc. But there was this other song that for some reason it just really got me like, I really like it. I don't know what to say. Like it's just it's like a rational versus like a just feelings.
It would be really easy for me to tell you on. Honestly, you can just fucking do like your favorite. You can just pick your favorite song. I guess I didn't know.
I'm gonna keep that in mind just in case. Either way, because like I like that thought. So like if I come into it and I'm like, and one of them do, then I'm gonna tell you like, oh, I thought this song was actually better though, but I had this favorite. So
okay, yeah. That's why I'm kind of thinking 2 weeks for this.
I also agree, and it's good to do it 2 weeks because I believe next week we actually have a special plan.
1 second. There's one more thing you have to do.
Oh, one more thing. All right.
So you have to guess my rank of the albums.
Ooh.
And guess what my favorite songs are.
Intrusive.
You don't have to guess which best song I would pick, because we're probably going to have similar answers.
Yeah.
But just I thought it'd be kind of cool if you guessed. Because I have all 5 of these albums ranked already. I have my favorite songs picked out on them. Because I re-listened to them this past weekend.
Yeah.
And I have an analysis of each album. So I'm ready to I'm ready to fucking go.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, look at all these notes. Look at all these notes. These are literally about music.
Ruffle them a little more so everyone can hear. Those are notes.
Notes. Paper. But yeah. So so 2 weeks we'll come back to that.
That sounds great. Yeah, no, that's perfect. Because like I said, I think we have a special plan for next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we do. So, next week is Halloween. It is the week of Halloween.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's in 2 weeks.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're wrong.
I swear it's the 17th. Next week's the 24th. Did I totally just fuck everything up?
My whole life's gone.
Okay. Well,
wow.
We could.
All right, so Lucas ruined that we don't have a surprise for you next week by changing the date of Halloween. So I guess you guys can just get whatever the fuck we want to talk about next week.
Oh fuck. Does that mean? Well, what were you gonna say? We could still do it next week. We could just switch weeks.
Yeah, this is true. It's not like we have that many listeners that are going to be angry. Yeah, we can do that.
That's totally. We'd have like one person mad at us. What the fuck, man? You promised me something and I didn't fucking get it.
We're gonna get the angriest person though. Like he's literally gonna come to my house. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck? I fucking asked for a Halloween movie." And, gave away a surprise.
Little hint. Pretty clear. I think it's pretty fucking obvious what we were gonna do.
Yeah. So we are going to be on the podcast while both of us watch a shitty Halloween movie together, and we talk, comment throughout it, but we maybe just talk about what's going on throughout it. Whatever happens, we're just gonna see what happens. But the plan is like a really bad Halloween movie. In my mind, I'm thinking something along the lines of the Leprechaun movies. I don't know if you've seen those.
I haven't, but I know what you're talking. I would like a movie I haven't seen before.
Perfect. That's what I was thinking too, because I want to be like surprised.
I have thought of The Wicker Man. I don't know if you were familiar with that movie.
I've heard of it.
It's a Nicolas Cage horror movie.
Ooh.
About bees, I think. It's a meme.
All right, that definitely sounds. Yep. Okay, that's where I've seen it. Is the memes. Okay, so we have some options on the table. I'm not sure which one it's gonna be. I'm gonna look up like shittiest horror movies essentially, and I'm gonna shoot some your way, and we'll decide.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same. I was gonna Google some, or if we just want to watch we were talking about watching a good one too, weren't we? Fuck, dude. You know what we should do? Huh. We should go see Halloween, the new one.
I am seeing that actually.
Son of a bitch.
I know, on Sunday.
Is it coming out this weekend?
It came out Thursday, actually.
What?
It's coming out this Thursday. Tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
Tomorrow
I thought you meant it came out last week. I was like, God damn it.
No.
Because I was thinking about going to see Venom sometime.
No, I haven't seen Venom yet.
Because I thought it looked shitty enough that I could have a good time.
Yeah, no, I would like to see Venom. I want to see Venom.
I really want to see the new Halloween, though.
I do, too. It's for an article. But, yeah. And so, I'm seeing it Sunday.
Do they pay for you to go see the movie?
They pay Emily to go see the movie, but
what a crock of shit.
Well, not necessarily, but she adds on the hours to pay for it.
What the fuck?
And since it's a couples column, I feel justified in adding on the hours to mine as well.
That's bullshit.
And I'm admitting to payroll fraud on this.
Are there any other single people on the paper? Because I would like to go see movies for free. Do you get to go for free, or is only she get to go for free?
She has to pay while she's there, but then she just adds it on in her hours.
So you also don't get you still have to pay for yourself?
I do, but then I add it on in hours too.
So there's no way I could get to go see movies for free.
I mean, in this scenario, no. If you come work at the Daily Egyptian as an entertainment writer, then yep, you got it. We'll get you some free movies.
Yeah, see, that's way too much work to go see a free movie. I would rather just pay whatever little money I have to go see a movie. So I think I'll just keep doing it the way I do it.
Yeah, that's a smart move. Either way, the point was, I'll see Venom with you if you want to see Venom sometime. But...
Huh? Alright, well, okay, never mind on my
anyway,
plan, then. We're going to pick out a shit... are we doing this next week, then?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the way to go, because then we'll have the album one in 2 weeks, because that makes more sense. That'll give me more time. Because
that could easily be a whole episode.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is that'll be the whole episode is us watching the movie. Like, that's going to be like an hour and a half, plus a little commentary maybe at the end, so...
Yeah, probably. No one else will probably quit. We'll probably fucking accidentally record the movie, so we can't even fucking use it.
No, yeah. That is something that I figured would happen. So next week we'll actually probably never be heard by anyone because we're gonna fuck it up. So.
If we
stay tuned for nothing next week.
Yeah, there's a good chance there won't be an episode next week. I'll just repost this episode. But I think
call it a different name.
I think I know what to do. I think I know how to make it work. We just kind of have to be in sync.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of funnier though if we were watching like two different movies. It'd be kind of funnier if like one of us fucked up. Like, oh damn!
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that would be really funny.
I watch Air Bud while you watch It.
Fuck! I love It. Damn, that's a good movie.
It is.
That's a good movie.
All right, so yes, next week we will be watching a shitty Halloween movie together and talking about it throughout, and then the following week we will come back with the 5 albums and everything that I had to do for it, and we'll go through that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What do I have to do? I have to do anything for the 2-week episode? Is there nothing I have to do?
You do. You're not allowed to wear clothes
during that episode.
Yeah,
that's pretty easy.
So,
I mean, it's not like I could be naked right now and you wouldn't even know.
He is.
I'm naked, fully naked.
Yeah.
Fully erect.
I know. See, I like it more that like nobody knows that you're naked and you just have to do it. So you have to talk about you being naked.
Now it's out there though. Now I can't be naked. So now everybody knows. So I do what they don't expect me to be clothed. Yeah. So I don't have anything to do. Like I have nothing that I have to do.
No, you have to be prepared to talk about those as well with me. So and we'll just kind of go through them.
So then, are we talking about the Coheed and Cambria song next week?
Yeah. Wait. Should we put that off a week then? We can talk about it next week. Yeah, we can talk about it next week. Let's talk about it next week.
Yeah. We'll probably want to talk about anything else besides the shitty movie we watch.
Yeah. So that'll give me another, like, check this shit out for you next week and stuff, too. Then I'll have a,
Yeah, that'll work. Then maybe, Okay, perfect. Fuck yeah, that'll work. Perfect.
Yeah. And so, that'll be the plan. So today we talked about Emo Nite and your Neck Deep concert, a little bit of hint of Jesse McCartney, and some about I was gonna say our parents dying. A lot about our parents dying. That was fun.
It was fun. Yeah, very uplifting.
Yeah, exactly. So far, this is he's drunk again. He's drunk again. Meant for depressed people. So you got a depressed friend, send it their way. It might make them feel more depressed.
Yeah.
You got a happy friend, send it their way. It might humble them a little bit.
Yeah, we might convince someone to kill themselves.
If I don't do that, then I don't know why I'm doing this podcast.
It's not a goal of mine, but it is a goal of mine.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying. Yep. I was gonna say if it's not a goal of yours, then we better part ways right now.
I mean, it's not a goal, but it is a goal. So
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
All right. So thank you to our 10 listeners. You all.
I love you all. I'm pretty sure I could name all of you. I'm pretty sure I could. It wouldn't take me that long to figure it out.
You will hear a fun episode next week, and
or you won't because we fucked up.
You're gonna find something out next week. Something in your life is gonna be learned next week, so that's something to look forward to.
I mean, we're gonna record next week. If you ever
Yeah.
hear it, will be decided after.
Mm-hmm. Or Yosemite will explode and we'll all die.
Yeah.
So
even
that's
better.
option 2.
That is always
So.
an option. Yosemite.
And we'll
no, not
podcast during
Yosemite.
that.
Is it Yosemite?
No, I just said that. It's Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Jesus, I fucking totally bought that.
Thank you.
Oh, they kept thinking like Yosemite. What's Yosemite?
I was like, it's got a Y in it, so I'm just gonna say it. So yeah.
Close enough.
All right. So good. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Woo.
And
End of
see
episode
you-
2.
end episode 2. He's drunk again,
He's drunk again.
or he's
Again?
not drunk. Whatever you want to call it, I guess.
It's called He's Drunk Again. Because he's drunk
We'll
again.
see.
Question mark.
Wait, do you know the name for this podcast? What it's gonna be?
I
Yeah.
have an idea in my head, but
Mm-hmm.
you'll see it when I upload it.
All right, cool.
So
I'm
fuck it.
excited. All
It's
right,
episode
thank you
2.
all.
All right, bye
Episode
everybody.
2. He's drunk again. Bye.